Dear girls and boys, in today's session, I'm going to discuss 5 short answer questions from Macbeth Act 2 Scene 1, another very important video on request. Go through the entire session. This is going to be a one-shot session. Go through it and I'm sure you will be able to write any answer from here henceforth. So it will be really good for your exam preparation. Let us read the first question now. How does Macbeth respond when Banquo tells him about his dream of the 3 witches, 3 weird sisters, and what does Macbeth propose they do in the future regarding this matter? In this question, there are 2 points that you will have to focus on. And what are they? How does Macbeth respond? Macbeth's response when Banquo tells him about his dream of the 3 witches, and what does Macbeth propose, Macbeth's proposal they do in the future regarding this matter. Always begin with a proper introductory statement, a proper powerful introduction. In Act 2 Scene 1 of Macbeth, Banquo informs Macbeth that he dreamt of the 3 weird sisters, a quotation, the previous night. So this is the basic premise. The introductory statement is all about the information provided by Banquo to Macbeth that he has dreamt of the 3 weird sisters the previous night. A part of their prediction has already come true in Macbeth's case. Macbeth's reaction to this is significant. Here in the introductory paragraph, I have related this answer directly to the first subpart of the first question. He replies, his response, this is what is asked in the question. He replies in a strain of exaggerated but obscure courtesy. He says, I think not of them. This is a quotation, very important. Specific answer, the quotation, if you quote correctly, you will get very good marks. And also a critical comment. He replies in a strain of exaggerated but obscure courtesy. I think not of them. Macbeth Banquo को ऐसा दिखा रहे हैं कि वो अब तक सब कुछ भूल चुके हैं. अब इन सारी चीजों के बारे में वो सोच नहीं रहे हैं. So there is a strain of exaggerated, बढ़ा चढ़ा के वो दिखाना चाहते हैं कि वो सब कुछ भूल गए हैं. But obscure courtesy, और वो कैसे appear कर रहे हैं? वो बहुत courteous, politely वो बोल रहे हैं, मैं इन सारी चीजों के बारे में नहीं सोचता हूं अब. This is Macbeth's response. Dear students, you must write your answers like this. First, I have written down the premise, क्या है question, situation क्या है, and then I have directly answered the question. The examiner is going to be impressed. Change paragraph. Another critical section, critical analysis. ये तो एक छोटा सा आंसर है, मगर क्लास 11 और 12 में simply writing this will not do. I think not of them हो गया, ठीक है, good marks हमें मिल जाएगा. मगर अगर critical comments नहीं add किया तुमने तो कुछ फायदा नहीं. What are the critical comments here? Let's see. We have highlighted a contrast between Macbeth and Banquo. In this scene, this contrast between the 2 characters is important. When I'll upload the line-by-line explanation video, you will understand these concepts a little better. The guiltless man, यहाँ पे guiltless man कौन है? Banquo confesses his dreams. तो मैंने तो ये dream देखा है, मैंने weird sisters को देखा है अपने dreams में. So this is a confession on the part of Banquo. Banquo appears to be guiltless. He appears to be innocent, but is he really that innocent? We'll have to see that. The guiltless man, that is Banquo, confesses his dreams, and ironically, the guilty man, Macbeth. We all know that Macbeth is thinking about regicide. He has already decided his mind about committing regicide. So he is the guilty man, guilty of hatching the conspiracy against Duncan. Denies further thought about the weird sisters. वो अब इन सारी चीजों के बारे में नहीं सोचते, मगर बैंको जो एक गिल्टलेस मैन है शायद वो weird sisters के बारे में सोच रहे हैं. So this is the contrast in their response to the dream, to the prophecies of the weird sisters. Still, इतना सब कुछ कहने के बाद भी मैकबेथ स्टिल क्या कहना चाहते हैं, क्या प्रपोज करना चाहते हैं? Now, the second part of the question, the second sub part, Macbeth proposes quotation to spend it in some words upon that business. Business क्या है? That business, prophecies of the weird sisters. Whenever Banco would grant the time, when they will have an hour or so to spare, they will take it over. सोच नहीं रहा हूं मगर हम इस बारे में बात कर सकते हैं जब तुम फ्री हो बैंको. What is the implication of this? Banco's words serve as a veiled incitement to Macbeth. Macbeth also assures Banco if he abides by his advice when the time comes, he will reward him with great honors. तो Macbeth जो इन सारी चीजों के बारे में सोच नहीं रहे हैं, क्यों बैंको को रिवॉर्ड करेंगे? क्या बैंको को अबाइड करना है, फॉलो करना है? क्या एडवाइस वो देंगे? सो हियर मैकबेथ सजेस्ट्स ट्रेचरी टू बैंको, suggests treachery. This is a bait. This is serving as a bait. Thus, Macbeth's true interest in the witch's prophecies becomes apparent when he suggests the importance of their partial fulfillment. He indirectly tries to involve Banco in the conspiracy. Indirectly, he is hinting, this is a kind of a bait, B-A-I-T, potentially to read Banco's mind. वो जानना चाहते हैं बैंको क्या सोच रहे हैं, and also to assess his allegiance. किस साइड में है? डंकन को सपोर्ट करेंगे फ्यूचर में या मैकबेथ को सपोर्ट करेंगे? और टू गेन हिज सपोर्ट, Macbeth's proposal also reveals his determination to commit regicide. So he may say that I do not think of these matters, but his proposal to discuss about that and to give rewards to Banco shows his determination to commit regicide. Here we have the conclusion. In the concluding paragraph, I have incorporated once again critical comments, and in this way you must write your answers. क्या बैंको मैकबेथ को फॉलो करेंगे? This is what we need to see as the play progresses. Question number 1, 5 marks, roughly 1 page. Now let us move on to question number 2. Let's see what is there in question number 2. In the beginning of Act 2, Scene 1, why does Banco not want to sleep? And what does he ask the merciful powers to do? Act 2, Scene 1 of Macbeth, quotation, opens with Banco unclasping his belt and its dagger. He is exhausted and a heavy summons lies like lead upon him. A quotation from the text. Learn important quotations from the text and write them down correctly. A heavy summons का क्या मतलब है? Sleep. He is feeling very, very sleepy. He is physically tired and he is also feeling very sleepy. Lies like lead upon him, yet he would not sleep. So, despite being physically tired, he cannot persuade himself to sleep because, what is the reason? Why does Banco not want to sleep? What is the reason? Because of his restlessness. Number 1, he is feeling restless. Number 2, mental agitation, mentally वो बहुत disturbed है. And internal conflict, और उनके भीतर एक conflict चल रहा है. There is an internal conflict going on. Here, there is a suggestion of impending calamity which is conveyed to the spectators. Banquo is afraid to sleep. Now just remember one thing, William Shakespeare had written this play not to be studied by us, but to be performed on the stage. So whenever you are writing the answers, use words like spectators, audience. Here, there is a suggestion of impending calamity, बहुत बुरा कुछ होने वाला है, which is conveyed to the spectators, और जो audience देख रहे हैं, उन्हें क्या पता चल रहा है? सब कुछ ठीक नहीं है और बहुत बुरा कुछ होने वाला है. Impending calamity क्या है? मैकबेथ डंकन को मारने वाले हैं. And Banquo is afraid to sleep. So the whole atmosphere is tense. Next, what does he ask the merciful powers to do? Change paragraph. The second subpart. He prays to the merciful powers to be delivered from entertaining even in dreams the plans which Macbeth was plotting to execute. इसका क्या मतलब है? He implores, requests the order of angels to restrain, quotation, in him the cursed thoughts. What was the plan of Macbeth? बैंको को पता नहीं है, मगर उनके अंदर एक रेस्टलेसनेस है. उनको शायद ये पता चलने लगा था कि कुछ बुरा होने वाला है. वो खुद मेंटली डिस्टर्ब थे. शायद वो भी विचेस के बारे में ही सोच रहे थे. We don't know that clearly. We can just assume. So he prays to the merciful powers to be delivered. मुझे छोड़ दो. Cursed thoughts, horrible dreams, मुझे छोड़ दो. And he prays to the merciful powers to be delivered from entertaining even in dreams the plans which Macbeth was plotting to execute. मैं कुछ बुरा नहीं सोचना चाहता हूं. He implores the order of angels to restrain, to control in him the cursed thoughts that nature gives way to in repose. He does not want to have the horrible dreams his troubled mind causes him to have when he is asleep. So, the quotation from the text, textual reference and the explanation. His subconscious, critical comment, his subconscious thoughts find expression in dreams, and he does not want that. He is afraid to sleep. Now, the conclusion. Thus, the unholy dreams, nightmares, like Macbeth's hallucinations. In this scene, we will see the dagger episode, Macbeth's hallucinations, and the dreams of Banquo. Both are incitements made by the instruments of darkness, जो evil forces of nature है. अपने आप को कैसे वो जाहिर कर रहे हैं? To Macbeth and Banquo through unholy dreams and through hallucinations, through illusions. Banquo has not yet surrendered to these nightmares. जाओ, राजा को जाके मार दो. मैकबेथ को जाके मार दो तो तुम राजा बनोगे. Your sons will also become the king. Macbeth is going to become the king. You must be jealous. Who are playing with the mind of Banquo? Who do you think are responsible for the restlessness of Banquo? Instruments of darkness, the witches, the prophecies of the witches. However, Banquo has not yet surrendered to these, and so he appeals to the merciful powers. Very important critical comment. Banquo is restless, mentally he is disturbed, but he has not yet surrendered to these. Macbeth has already surrendered himself to the instruments of darkness, which Macbeth never does. इसका क्या मतलब है? Banquo appeals to the merciful powers, but Macbeth never appeals to the merciful powers. It seems that he cannot help dreaming of the three weird sisters and therefore he does not want to sleep. So this is answer number 2. Explanation भी है और critical comments भी है. To the point specific answer. And use textual reference as well. After this, answer number 3. Just one moment, I'll adjust. So, question 3. What is the significance of time in Act 2, Scene 1 of Macbeth? This is also important, the concept of time. In the opening lines of Act 2, Scene 1 of Macbeth, the mood of the spectator is prepared for the crime to be done. और क्या crime है? Regicide. It is past midnight. Time क्या है? Past midnight. Black as Macbeth's heart and evil influences are abroad. So it is past midnight, dark night, starless night, black as Macbeth's heart. So there is a comparison here. Natural world versus the mind of natural world related to the mind of Macbeth, to the heart, the evil, dark intentions of Macbeth. The moon is down. Darkness engulfs the night. Superstitions and premonitions, कुछ गलत होने वाला है, disturb the mind of Banquo. The heavens are behaving like a thrifty housekeeper who does not allow the candles to burn so late at night. So also the stars have been put out in the sky. So a dark night, a starless night. Thus, so what is the significance? So I have explained the night, the time, past midnight, and now the critical comment. William Shakespeare suggests the utter darkness of the night and create a proper impression on the mind of the audience. This is the critical comment. He creates a proper impression on the mind of the audience. Banquo is afraid to sleep during the night, suggesting that nightmares trouble him as an expression of his troubled subconscious mind. The effect of time on Banquo is different. The effect of time on Macbeth is different. Macbeth also states that night is the time when witches worship their queen Hecate and make offerings to her. Macbeth is getting ready to go to the bedchamber of King Duncan and execute the crime, commit regicide. The wicked dreams abuse the men lying asleep in their curtained beds. So both these characters respond to this time, to the dark night, in their own ways. In this way, time plays an important role here. The king's abed, another piece of information, night में और क्या एक very important चीज हुआ है? King Duncan is already asleep, unguarded, he is taking rest, and this prepares the movement of the plot. Evil looms large. So there is evil all around, and the agents of darkness are contrasted with merciful powers. The scene is set. Therefore, the conclusion for the impending tragedy. Impending tragedy क्या है? Regicide. The king was a representative of God on earth during those times. He was considered to be the representative of God on earth. So, if regicide is committed, then a grave, heinous sin is committed. This is the answer. Again, just one page. Moving on to the next question, it's question 4. How does Macbeth interpret the appearance of blood? Blood as a symbol. Time is important. Blood is important. on the imaginary dagger. And what does this reveal about his mental state? Again, you will have to focus on these 2 points, interpretation of Macbeth and his mental state of mind. The dagger episode is important. Prepare an answer. I'll give you some points, and if you go through this session, I hope you will be able to answer this question. Read a good paraphrase as well. So what is this about blood? Let us see now. In Act 2, Scene 1 of Macbeth, King Duncan is soon to be murdered, and Macbeth's heat-oppressed brain, that is his imagination, makes him see a dagger in the air. So the dagger episode in brief. As he tries to understand if it is a false creation, a dagger of the mind, hallucination, appearing to him in form as palpable, as real as this real dagger which he draws, he notices gouts of blood. So here I have used textual reference one after the other, which was not there before. So he notices gouts of blood, which was not so before. कुछ देर पहले इस dagger के ऊपर drops of blood stains नहीं था, मगर अब suddenly there is the appearance of blood on the dagger. What is the suggestion of this? And how does he respond? How does he interpret the appearance of blood? Macbeth is surprised to see the appearance of the blood, and the suddenness of its appearance makes his imagination vivid and fertile. So he starts thinking, he starts to analyze the whole situation. The whole act of murder seems to be enacted before his eyes in anticipation of the actual performance. वो सही में अब जाने वाले थे डंकन के चेंबर में to commit the murder, और उनके सामने एयर में, थिन एयर में एक डैगर झूल रहा है with blood. He interprets that this dagger must be an illusion. And then when he sees blood now, and previously there was no blood, he interprets that this dagger must be an illusion, a figment of his imagination, hallucination, HALLUCINATION. It is only his murderous design which raised this phantom dagger before his eyes. Blood is an important symbol in the play, and here its appearance shows the gory. Gory ka matlab bloody. Number 1, violent and heinous nature of the crime. Very important. Critical comment. Thus, now the second subpart in the conclusion. Thus, Macbeth's mental state at this moment is characterized by a conflict. There is a struggle, a tussle between his ambition, which drives him to commit the murder, and his conscience, which warns him of the consequences. Appearance versus reality. Macbeth's fertile, vivid imagination. Again, this is another compact answer. Just 1 page. And now the next question, question number 5. Long answer bhi aa sakta hai. Dagger episode, dagger scene. Which is the dagger scene? The dagger scene is Act 2, Scene 1, Macbeth. Question 5. Why does Macbeth ask the earth not to hear his steps? And what fear does he express in regard to his actions being discovered? In Act 2, Scene 1, soliloquy of Macbeth. So, in the dagger scene, you will see this soliloquy of Macbeth. You will have to learn that soliloquy properly, analyze that soliloquy critically. In Act 2, Scene 1 of Macbeth, the king's abed, and it is past midnight, dark and starless. Macbeth draws a dagger at this time to commit regicide and is going towards King Duncan's chamber. Thus, he asks. So, this is a reason. वो कहाँ जा रहे हैं? वो डंकन को मर्डर करने के लिए जा रहे हैं. And therefore, he asks the earth, hear not my steps, and which way they walk. He wants to reach, this is a reason, Duncan's chamber stealthily, chupke, unnoticed. कोई मुझे देख ना ले, to ensure the execution of the crime without any evidence. Now he has become a hardened criminal here. He is plotting the murder and he wants to do it with perfection. He does not want to wake the royal chamberlains, जो bodyguard है. He is nervous, mentally agitated, and his request to Earth suggests his desire for secrecy. He wants to keep this a secret, and his desperate attempt to suppress any evidence of his crime. He does not want to leave behind any proof of his wrongdoing. So he is now a hardened criminal. And this is due to the goadings of Lady Macbeth. Remember, in the previous session, we had discussed all these points while discussing the questions and answers. Do check the pinned comment section and you will get all the links. Hardened criminal. Perfect crime. He wants to commit a perfect crime. कोई सबूत वो नहीं छोड़ेंगे. He has a fear. Fear क्या है? That the very stones will proclaim his presence and force him to put off this horrible deed, so well suited to this time. The moment is right. He will not get such an opportunity. शायद ऐसा opportunity उन्हें नहीं मिलेगा आगे जाके. तो आज ही मुझे डंकन को खत्म करना है. When all are asleep, here Macbeth is bent on killing Duncan and is not vacillating. कोई दुविधा नहीं है. Thus, if his evil actions are discovered, he will lose the opportunity to execute the night's great business. A quotation. Night's great business. What is the business? Regicide. After this, metaphorically, what is the meaning? Critical comment. He has become so obsessed that he feels that inanimate objects like stones may betray him. कोई भी उन्हें betray कर सकता है. So, he has just confided in Lady Macbeth and no one else. लोगों के ऊपर विश्वास नहीं है and शायद inanimate objects भी betray कर देंगे. This act is so gruesome, so heinous. This is sin. He is also equally aware of the consequences of being discovered. क्या होगा? The deep damnation of his taking off, Duncan's taking off. Act 1, Scene 7 में ये quotation है, may prove disastrous and he may lose golden opinions from all sorts of people. Previous scene से भी quotation लिया जा सकता है and you can include that in your answer. He may lose golden opinions from all sorts of people. He has become the Thane of Glamis. He has become the Thane of Cawdor. So he does not want to lose that support of the people. He separates himself from the natural world and its moral order. Thus, he is trying to escape the judgment and punishment. वो जानते हैं डंकन को सब लोग कितना चाहते हैं, मान देते हैं. He is a good, just king. Therefore, he is trying to escape the judgment and punishment. This shows the internal conflict in Macbeth's mind. He is not vacillating, but there is this nervousness. There is this internal conflict. And he wants to commit the crime with perfection. He wants to commit a perfect crime. Lady Macbeth भी चाहती थी Macbeth successfully ये murder commit करे और prove करे कि वो एक real में एक man है. So this is what Macbeth has transformed into, a hard-hearted, ruthless murderer who is planning to commit a perfect crime. After this, I'll just give you a few points. I'll discuss a few points. If you are asked to write about hallucination, what is the purpose of hallucination? Just it's there, the points are there on the screen. Importance of the hallucination, dagger episode, critical comment. The purpose of this hallucination is to create the proper atmosphere. हमने ये पहले भी डिस्कस किया है. Night, darkness, evil. Proper atmosphere for the murder that will be done outside the stage. Spectators को Shakespeare prepare कर रहे हैं. It helps to key the mind of the audience to the heated fancy. And then it also reveals vivid imagination of Macbeth. And we also see conflict between his inordinate ambition and his fear of consequences. So if you are asked to critically analyze the dagger episode, you must write the paraphrase and then add these critical comments. Take care and goodbye.